Hi there everybody. In this video I'm going to share with you what we call the 2-week IBS solution using a natural approach. This is a protocol that I've used in my clinic for a lot of patients suffering from irritable bowel syndrome that gets fantastic results. And so with that said, let's get right to it. So, there are 3 types of IBS that are classified: either IBS-D, which stands for, typical pattern of diarrhea, IBS-C, which is more of a typical constipation type problem, and then IBS-A, which stands for alternating between constipation and diarrhea. And so these are kind of the typical patterns that you see with IBS. And so the first step to this program is determining your problems, because not always is it IBS that you're suffering from, and so it's important to find out. And so there's a lot of other GI problems that may require a completely different strategy and approach. So it's important to have a complete workup done first and foremost, and you want to rule out anything like Crohn's disease, ulcers, or celiac disease, which oftentimes can have very similar manifestations and similar symptoms to people suffering from IBS. But typically people that suffer from IBS have already had a lot of these workups done, and so oftentimes IBS is kind of like this diagnosis of exclusion, when people will go in and have all these tests and have all these different problems ruled out. Then they'll kind of place one of those diagnoses on you: IBS D, C, or A. And so the second step is you need to understand the fundamental cause behind IBS. And a lot of people are kind of in the dark on this, but it's a really simple fundamental cause of IBS, and it is chronic stress. Now, chronic stress can take the form of many different types of stress, either emotional stress, physical stress, chronic illness, chronic injuries, things like that kind of take their toll on the body. And what happens is that chronic stress actually depletes the body of vitamins, minerals, hormones, and other essential biochemicals that the body needs to function properly. And among these, what it does is it causes a severe deficiency in serotonin. Now, serotonin you may already be familiar with, but what's important about serotonin, it's a brain hormone or a neurotransmitter, and it's responsible for a really wide variety of different things. It's people call it the happy hormone. It helps with your mood. It helps with proper sleep. It also helps with proper digestion. What most people aren't aware of is that you actually have more serotonin receptors in your GI system than you do in your brain. And so low serotonin levels means that you're going to have digestive issues and digestive problems. It's just a simple fact that when you have deficiencies in serotonin, your GI system will not function as properly as it should. And so the final step to this 2-week solution is fixing the problem itself. And so you want to increase your serotonin levels naturally. Medications such as Zelnorm were used to stimulate the serotonin receptors in the GI system, but obviously didn't work so well. That medication Zelnorm was pulled off of the market after it had harmed a lot of people. It was a dangerous medication, and as many of the other pharmaceuticals are. What I find interesting is that these pharmaceutical companies understood that there was a problem with serotonin, and what I just don't understand is that if you have deficiencies in serotonin, rather than trying to artificially stimulate these serotonin receptors, why not give the body what it needs? Why not give the body serotonin itself? And I think really the answer with a lot of these pharmaceutical companies, the reason why, is because you can't patent natural supplements like you can pharmaceutical medications that are created. And so instead of using medications and pharmaceuticals, there's a natural supplement called 5-HTP. It stands for 5-hydroxytryptophan. It's actually the direct precursor to serotonin. Your body already creates this substance naturally, and so it's an all-natural supplement that you can take. And essentially what you want to do with the protocol that we use is you want to take 50 milligrams of 5-HTP 30 minutes before bed with 4 ounces of grape juice on an empty stomach. Now, the thing you want to really be careful of is you want to make sure that you get a high-grade 5-HTP. Don't just go to Walgreens and pick up any old 5-HTP. you want to make sure you do some research and find out you're getting a really high quality 5-HTP. A lot of times what manufacturers will do is they'll put like these kind of herbal preparation combinations where they'll put in 5-HTP and valerian root and a lot of these other different herbal supplements. That's not what you want. You want something that is straight 5-HTP. You want to make sure that it's pure and that it's clean. There's a handful of companies that I recommend when I get these to my patients. The company that I've been using a lot is Douglas Laboratories. They do a really good job. They make a nice, good quality 5-HTP. So naturally this will also improve sleep, which is only going to help benefit as well. It's going to help the body restore proper levels of the hormones and biochemicals that it needs, because that's essentially what sleep is it's a restorative state that the body uses to help replenish itself of these different biochemicals and hormones and things. And so typically what I recommend patients do is increase by 50 to 100 milligrams if necessary. So typically you'll know if you're not experiencing improvement within the first couple days, then you can start increasing by 50 milligrams. So the next night you'll bump up to 100 milligrams. If you still don't notice, then you can bump up, the next couple days by another 50 milligrams, all the way up to 150. But typically most patients that I've seen respond somewhere between the 50 milligram to 150 milligram range. And so let me share with you what you can expect with this protocol. Near to complete resolution of your IBS symptoms within 2 weeks. I know that probably sounds too good to be true, but it's honestly what I've seen is we get really, really good results with this. This approach helps the body to restore serotonin levels, which in turn help restore proper GI motility and function. And so we have gotten really, really good success rates using this protocol. If I were to track it, I would say, upwards of 80-90% of our patients, when we put them on this protocol, have responded really well to this and get a dramatic improvement within a really short period of time. And so if you're having problems with IBS and haven't been able to find anything that works for you, give this protocol a shot. It's safe and it's effective, and I've seen it work really well for a lot of different patients. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact our clinic at any time, Align Chiropractic out in Meridian, Idaho. And our website is www.boisechiropracticgroup.com. And best of luck with this, and I look forward to hearing back from anybody that has any comments or any feedback. Thanks.